Travis Diablo Sauce Foster. We updated the nickname.
Yeah, there's a funny story behind that too.
Well, let's go. Let's hear it.
So, okay, it started off back in 2012, my senior year in high school. What we would do is we would bring barbecue sauce to the in the middle of the mat in the wrestling tournaments, because we didn't want to trash talk, so we would sit it in the middle of the mat, and basically the other teams would come up to us and ask us about it. They would basically inquire like, "Why is that sauce there?" And we would tell them, "Well, it's there because we're going to give you the sauce."
All right.
Yeah, and then I guess my vice principal must have heard about it, and one day they called me down to the office, and it was like, "Can you please send Travis the Sauce Foster down to the office?"
Oh shit.
So that was kind of funny. And when I jumped into MMA after high school, that was a name that I stuck with. And recently, when I moved out here, when I met Diego Sanchez, he said that I should be hot sauce. And hot sauce stuck for a while. And then when I got into boxing, they was like, "Man, you should change it to Diablo sauce." And then now here we are.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. Diablo sauce is a step above hot sauce, and hot sauce is a step above just regular sauce. So
Exactly.
I like it, and I like the progression. It just got meaner and meaner and meaner. The longer your career progressed. I dig it. I dig it.
Exactly.
All right. So you're fighting Austin Wourms. What does this cat bring to the table that we need to keep an eye on?
So he brings high level jujitsu skills to the table. Well, first off, let me start off by saying I believe that every fighter is dangerous. Whether if the guy's 0-20 or never fought before, every fighter is dangerous. So I'm gonna start off by saying he's dangerous, because every fighter is. But his biggest strength, I would say, is probably nice jiu-jitsu skills. All of his wins are first round submissions.
Okay. Okay, so he brings a submission game to the fight. Now, what have you done in your training camp? Because the fight is next weekend, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, 2 weeks and 1 day from today.
From today, is my math all fucked up?
It's October 13th.
It's the 13th. Okay, we're doing so many rough shows now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still a couple weeks out. Okay, I got you. I got you. Now, what have you done in your training camp to prepare yourself for the jits of this guy?
I mean, the thing is, like, I'm aware of what he brings to the table, and we've been working our counters and stuff, but I'm not so concerned on what he's going to do. It's more so about me. It's my. We want to make him fight my fight. I'm not going to be
Mm-hmm.
so worried about his fight and what he's doing that I lose by default because I'm just so worried about him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and it also helps you've never been submitted in your mixed martial arts career, correct?
Yeah, correct.
All right. So you always have that little going on here.
Yeah.
All right. And you like to fight frequently. I mean, upwards of 4 or 5 times a year. That's pretty incredible. Is that the type of schedule that you like to keep?
Well, thank God that I've never been injured in any fight. The
Wow.
worst thing that's ever happened to me in a fight was my cauliflower ear got more swollen. That's like the worst thing that's ever happened to me in a fight. And that's not
Okay.
even really an injury because you just drain that with a syringe and then you're back to training again.
Yeah, see, I've never had cauliflower ear. I've never, known anybody like personally that had cauliflower ear, so I've never really had to deal with that whole thing. Is that annoying at all? I've never had to ask or never got the opportunity to ask that, but like, how is that?
Oh man, so it's pretty painful. The thing is, like, when I first got it, it was in training, and it was like slowly swelling up, and it wasn't like really bad. And then I had a fight June 1st, and I remember after the fight was over with, I went backstage, and I remember just feeling a huge amount of pressure on my ear, and looking at it, I was like, everyone was like, "Man, I can't believe your ear didn't explode in the fight."
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, it looks painful. It looks painful. So I couldn't imagine doing. I mean, my ears are fucking sensitive. If you like, flick them like they do in soccer, I'd be doing what they're doing on the floor. So I couldn't imagine having cauliflower ear, man. So you're a bigger man than me when it comes to ears. Now, talk to me about your experience with the promotion so far. They've been pretty good to us, getting us interviews and letting us come to their shows and whatnot. But I want to get from the fighter's perspective. How has the promotion been towards you?
So this is my first time actually working with this promotion. So this is basically, I guess you would say, kind of like an audition for this promotion to see if we're gonna, if this is a one and done type of thing, or are we gonna continue to keep working together between now and when I go to the big leagues. So I'm excited to see, what the future holds. So far, I'm happy. I don't have any complaints about this promotion. They've been very professional. When I try to reach out to the promoter, they respond almost instantly. So I don't have any complaints.
That's awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. Too many times you hear about promoters not getting back to the fighters, or there's poor treatment, or there's shit going on in the background that they're not addressing. So, like I said, so far our experience with RUF has been nothing short of phenomenal. So it's cool that all the fighters that we're talking to, they're pretty much getting the same treatment, which is kind of rare these days. That media like me and the white belt over there and fighters alike get treated with the same amount of respect. So very, very good on the promotion there. So with you said you boxed and you're doing the MMA. Do you do anything outside of those two sports as far as like mixed martial arts? So is there any Muay Thai in there? Is there any other things that you use outside the game but inside the game? If you understand the question, because I could have asked that way more confusing.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that you asked me that because our sport is basically not really one sport. It's basically like
It's an
5,
accumulation.
7, 8 sports combined. So if you only train one or two, then you're fooling yourself, and you're setting yourself up for kind of like a Ronda Rousey or Ben Askren type of thing, where it's just a matter of time before you meet your match and get devastatingly finished.
Okay. And what would you say is your strongest suit, and what would you say is the thing that you would like to, improve upon?
My strongest suit is actually not even a real martial art. My strongest suit is the fact that the heart that I have. I would never quit ever. I would never quit in a fight. I rather this. I know everyone says this, but very few people mean it. I would rather die than a quit in a fight, and I truly, honestly mean that. Unfortunately, I can't help where I grew up at and where I came from, but I'm someone that was forced into fighting. That I really didn't get to choose the fight. I chose to do it in a professional manner now, but the way I was first introduced to it was basically like being bullied and being forced into street fighting. So that's where that extreme heart and where I refuse to quit comes from. But my strongest suits would be this fact that I'm not stubborn. The fact that I'm willing to flow from we could go from boxing to okay, and then if you want to do jiu-jitsu, I'll transition to that. And if you want to transition to wrestling, we could transition to that. Or if you want to transition to Muay Thai, we could do that. I would say that's definitely my biggest strength. The fact that I'm not stubborn and okay, it has to be this way. I have to win this way. I'm willing to take the fight wherever it goes.
Oh, damn. Okay. And what would you like to improve upon?
I would like to improve on being more open-minded. I feel like you can never know enough. You know, so I would
Very
like to
true.
be more open-minded to the point to where like if someone who's like never trained a day before in their life, I'll hear them out and learn from them because there's something to learn from everyone.
Absolutely. I keep pointing to the MMA white belt over there because He could learn a thing or two, especially from all the fighters that we interview, because we interview a lot, and like we kind of like pride ourselves upon like interviewing like the smaller fighters. Yes, we do like the big interviews because it brings a lot of traffic to our sites and whatnot, our social media, and it helps build our following. But we're also like we're very much about the little guy because we're the little guys as far as MMA media is concerned, or just in the greater scheme of things, we're like this fucking big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'd like to personally thank you for your time, and I'm gonna switch things over to the co-host before I just completely just there's no Jonathan in this interview. Come on, bro, what you got?
Like Steve was saying, thank you for taking time out of your day and talking with us. We really do appreciate it, and it means a lot to us.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. I appreciate you guys reaching out. I'm like you said, the smaller guys. Sometimes what happens is, especially at like you see at a gym like mine that I'm at, where you see all the time, you see these big name fighters, high profile fighters getting interviewed, getting pictures and all of that, and then there's kind of like the guys like me that are like the background that kind of just doesn't really get any attention from media at all. So this is pretty cool.
Well,
All
right on.
right,
I'm
all
glad
right.
we can make it happen, man.
Definitely, definitely. Um, well, at the beginning, you said that you had moved from Jersey to New Mexico. Now, is that a permanent move, or is that just to come out and train?
Oh yeah, that was a permanent move. Something crazy that you probably won't believe is that I actually moved here in a blind. I didn't come and check it out first. I
Oh
went on the
shit.
website, for Jackson Wink, filled out the fighter inquiry. There, at the bottom, there's a section that says, "How long do you plan on staying here?" I put forever.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, bought a
Damn.
one way ticket. Yeah, bought a one way ticket. Packed as much as I can in my two gym bags. Um, Paid the first month's rent, and yeah, didn't look back.
That's a leap
Wow.
of faith, man.
Hell yeah. I like that. I like that when I mean, not only fighters, but like in any sport or anything that somebody's really passionate about, they just go just balls out and just like, you know what? It's game or bust, and
Exactly.
I like that.
That's very
Um,
respectable.
yes, definitely. Um, Now, we're going into the end of 2019. What are some goals that you've set for yourself going into 2020?
Excellent question.
Yeah, that is a pretty excellent question. So I will first off, I want to take it one fight at a time. But since you asked that question, I'll go into the future and answer it for you. But I would like to enter the year coming off of the most uh, dominant, best performance I've ever had in my whole entire career, which is this upcoming fight. And my goal is to even my record out, get it to 500, and then get end the year with the contender series fight.
Oh shit.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's my goal for sure. Whether if it's they book the contender series 2 months in advance, or whether if it's short notice, step in on a week and make something happen.
Nice. Now it's to my understanding that they're going to be bringing back the Ultimate Fighter. Now, has that ever been a goal? Whether it's now or whether it's like way down, whenever it comes up, is Ultimate Fighter something you would be looking into also?
It's funny you asked me that. They say beggars can't be choosers. So if they were to offer me it, I'd be a fool to turn it down. But if they gave me an option, like if they said, "Hey, listen, we have three options. One, you could just sign a UFC contract. Two, you could go to Contender Series. Or three, you could do Ultimate Fighter." Ultimate Fighter would be the last thing on my list. That would be my very last
Okay,
option. I think, to be honest, I think I'm a little bit too real for that show. You know what I'm
gotcha.
saying? Like, I don't like fighting in the streets. I promised God I wouldn't fight in the streets, but I could for sure see myself beating the beating the crap out of somebody and that I can't live with the enemy. I'm sorry. After the fight's
Mhm.
over with, we could be cool. shake hands, be best friends. But leading up to it, I can't. Don't even touch me. Don't even be in the same room as me.
Damn.
Gotcha. Well, you gotta kind of get into that fight mode. I mean, you've gotta, it's pretty much, a bunch of sharks out there, and you gotta be the bigger one, and you gotta go get that shit. So, yeah, I can understand that mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, my final question I got for you. I like to hang out with my family, spend time with my kids, play some video games, watch movies. What do you like to do in your spare time when you're not training for fights?
Oh man, it's funny you said that because ever since I moved out here, um, actually there really is no such thing as fun spare time for me. You're not gonna believe this, but it's either well, okay, actually no, I do have something I like to do. I have a dog. She's a year and 3 months old, and
Mhm.
she's definitely my best friend. We hang out, we go for runs, and I play with her. But other than that, it's either training, sleeping, eating, recovery. I'm training so hard that I have to get a lot of rest and a lot of rest. And there's not really
Mm.
much time. I work a full time job as well,
What do you
so
do for work?
I'm an armed security guard.
No shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that's pretty hectic doing 40 hours a week and then juggling, training. So by the time I get home, it's almost I almost feel like I don't understand how people have sleep problems and have a hard time falling asleep because
Yeah.
I don't know. I
I instantly
Oh,
KO when I touch the bed.
well,
Maybe I need to
shoot.
get into some fucking MMA to get my ass to sleep.
Yeah, right.
I know. Yeah, counting sheep isn't helping anymore. So,
Start counting opponents. There we go.
Yeah, or go run a mountain real quick.
I know,
Oh,
right? Well, we got plenty of those out here. So,
yes, we
uh,
do. Yes, we do.
all right. Well, thank you again for your time. That's all I've got for you. I'm gonna shoot you back over to the host wherever he's at on my screen. Steve, what you got?
I'm here, I promise. I'm just, my screen is all frozen too, so I don't know what's going on this weekend. We didn't have this problem last weekend, so hopefully everything turns out all right. But I wanted to ask you about just adversity, because I don't think we touch on it enough with fighters, and I think people need to hear their stories. And sometimes just getting to the fight game is their story of adversity. So could you touch on that at all?
Oh man, Whew. Adversity. It's interesting you said that. I could talk about that for about the next 5 hours. So
Oh, shit.
I'll give you the quick version. So as an amateur, I went 7-0. Um, a few weeks before my last amateur fight, I got major knee surgery. No, excuse me. I tore the ligament. I didn't get the surgery until way later after the fight. But I fought in that fight with the knee all banged up. And I went out there and finished the guy by knockout. Um, got the surgery. People said that my career was over with. I still got it anyway. Lost my first pro fight by decision. Lost my second pro fight by technical knockout. Lost my third pro fight by split decision. Lost my fourth pro fight by unanimous decision. And then after that, after I lost that fourth fight, maybe a month later, I was living in Albuquerque in Jackson Wink. And then about 6 weeks after that, I got my first pro win. Um, that alone was a huge amount of adversity. Sitting at a lot of people would have quit sitting at 0-1, or a lot of people would have quit after the technical knockout sitting at 0-2, or 0-3, or even 0-4. I remember feeling so nervous going into that fifth pro fight that when I was hitting pads to warm up, I was so nervous that I couldn't even breathe.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I told my
Wow.
coach, I was like, "Hey, stop, stop, stop." He's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I can't even breathe." I was literally choking. I didn't know. He's like, "Yo, you're just nervous. That's all." And and that was extreme amount of adversity that had over. That was a fork in the road for me. That moving out here and getting that first win after being on a 4-fight losing streak. Then a few months later, I got another win. Now sitting at 2-4, and then kind of the same thing happened again. I lost 4 fights in a row again, and then back in February of this year was my most recent loss, and it got to a point to where there was just too much negativity coming from my family and stuff. I actually blocked all of them for a whole entire month.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
I had to reinvent myself. I had to disconnect. I stopped talking to my family for a whole month. I had to dig deep within myself, see what I was made of. I acquired a major sponsorship, strength and conditioning coach that has basically been like what Customato was to Tyson. That's basically what he's been to me. Coach Sapp, that's his name. He's been. I remember when first time I met with him, we had a meeting, and he said, "Hey man, I'm looking at your films of your fights, and man, if you were in better shape, you would kill these guys." So we worked on that. Fast forward to let me see, March, April, May. Fast forward to June 1st, I had a fight, and exactly what he said, I killed that guy. Yeah, stopped him in the
Wow.
third round. Stopped him in the third round, rear naked choke. And the crazy part is that I didn't even know that guy was actually a brown belt in jiu-jitsu.
Oh shit.
I basically just outworked him to win. It wasn't even like this technique, finesse, submission. It was just like a kind of like a Diego Sanchez type of win. You know how he just grinds people
Yeah,
and
you just
just
got that. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. And that was another fork in the road for me as well. To be on a 4 fight losing streak. If that 4 fight losing streak turns into a 5 fight losing streak, at that point it's basically like it's not. I wouldn't say it's time to hang it up, but you're giving everyone else a strong argument to tell you to hang it up.
Yeah.
So
It's
I had to dig out of a 4 fight losing streak hole twice in my career, and that's to not make a short to not like go too much on a tangent about it. That's like my short version of dealing with adversity and coming and overcoming it.
And I'd imagine that you probably did have a lot of people telling you at the end of both streaks, hey, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe it's time to focus on something else. And like you stuck with it, man. I mean, this is something that you 100% genuinely like want to do. And
Mm.
despite the record, I mean, I've been telling Jonathan forever, and now he's starting to repeat it to me. Oh, records don't fucking matter, bro. You know what I mean? Because they really
Yep.
don't. Records don't really speak on the fighter; they speak on the past. And you can't judge a fighter on its past, even though that's like how the sport works. You know what I mean? So much respect to you for not giving up on your dream, your goals, your
Mm.
aspirations. Like that's what's up, and that's definitely what I want people to hear. I want people to hear that just because you're down and out doesn't mean that it's over, and you've proven it twice in your career already.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Very.
Muhammad Ali said, in life or in the ring, there's nothing wrong with going down, but as there's something wrong with staying down.
Yeah,
So
Mm.
everyone's going to go down. Everyone's going to take a knee. Everyone's going to get dropped. But are you going to stay there, or are you going to get up? You know?
definitely. Definitely, very respectable. Well, I want to thank you for the time. This has been very inspirational. Got me thinking about things over here. Maybe lighting some new fires. But I want to give you as much time as you would like to thank anybody who got to you to this point in your career. Training partners, sponsors, fans, friends, family. Take as long as you want, man. The floor is yours.
Oh yeah, man, it's a long list, but at first I want to start off with thanking God. Definitely have to thank God first. Everything I do is for God. The faith, the hope, the inspiration that I have is from God. So for sure, thanking God first, and most importantly, man, the list is very long. I want to thank my father, for never giving up on me. Um, yeah, he's never given up on me through all the losses and all of that. Never given up. I want to thank, Jackson Wink Academy for taking me in. Despite my record, I came in 0-4. and they accepted me as if I was someone that was 4-0. So I want to thank the head coach, Mike Winklejohn, Greg Jackson, the gym manager who handles all the finances and business aspect, the nutritionist over there at the gym, Heather Winklejohn, Anita Del Pre, a lot of training partners, Maurice Hope Jackson. I like to thank him. Man, it's just a whole long list of people. My strength and conditioning coach, Coach Sapp, he never given up on me. The list goes on. Anyone that's a fan, anyone that's a supporter, anyone. I have a lot of followers on Instagram that are under the age of 13. So all of the kids who look up to me, who DM me, or even just hit the like button on pictures, or who wave at me after a fight, or come up to me before the fight. I want to thank them. Everybody, everyone has a role in this fight game. The promoters have their role, the athletic commission has their role, the gym has his role, the teammates, everyone, the enemy, the competitor has his role. The fans that are rooting against you have their role. The fans that are rooting for you have. So I just want to thank everyone. I'm just grateful to be here, healthy, and I'm going to go out there and compete in a few weeks.
All right. I like the way you put that, man. Everybody's got a role in this game. Okay. Now, we got a cool one because we get to talk to all you badasses. So.
Oh, man, my bad. I didn't even thank you guys, man.
Oh, no. Yeah. That's not what I was trying to get at, but hey, I'll take it. But no, I'm saying we got one of the coolest jobs of all. We get to talk to you guys about, just life and, shit that you guys like to do. And I mean, because, yeah, we're in the fight game and, we're trying to promote the fight business. But at the same time, it's like we're all fucking humans. We all like to, sit down and watch a movie or, go fucking volunteer and, go climb a mountain like you were talking about, like all kinds of shit. So we get to, like, help all of you guys tell your stories to people who otherwise wouldn't hear it. So definitely, like, that kind of rang a bell in my ear that you're right. Everybody does have a place in this sport, and that's just where we sit at the moment. We're currently trying to get that big boy over there. He says he wants to have a cage fight before he dies. So
nice. I mean, man, you could do it for sure. You got to look at it like this: out of what? How many MMA fighters are there out there in the world? Let's just throw a number. Maybe let's just say 10,000.
Okay.
You could be at least one of those 10,000.
You hear that, John?
Maybe more. Maybe way more than that. But there's at least one that you can go out there and finish that guy.
Damn. You got a new role as a motivational coach over here. Son of a gun.
Yeah.
Lighting some fires, man.
Definitely.
All right. Well, again, thanks for the time. We'll be out there on the 13th, so we'll catch up in person. Okay?
Oh, yeah, cool. So we get to meet in person. Yeah, hopefully this is not the last time we're doing an interview together.
Absolutely not. We'll do this again for sure.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys.
Hey, not a problem, Foster. Good luck, and we'll see you on the 13th, okay?
All right, for sure. Have a good day.
All right, man. Take it easy, Diablo.
All right, bye.